I'd like to call this meeting to order of Tuesday, July 10th, Board of Selectmen at 6 o'clock. And if everybody could join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we're going to start it right out, and we will get to. We're going to juggle things just a little bit because we have somebody here who needs to get somewhere, and we'll start with public comment period. Anybody have something? Please.
I'll just shout.
Is that on?
Is that on, Monica?
You know, I don't think it is.
Is it a red band? Just press that and hold it. There you go. You're on. There you go. If it's green, it's on.
No. Okay, it's on. Monica Lutton, 11 Story Street. I'll be very quick. I'm here on just
Take your time. We want to hear what you have to say.
Well, maybe you don't.
Uh-oh.
No, seriously. I just wanted to say a word about the sewer capacity issue that I think we're all trying to deal with sooner or later. I've been to meetings of the Planning Board and the DPW, and both of them have taken up that issue on their agenda recently, and it's on the DPW agenda this coming Wednesday again at some length. And I think both boards may be looking to the selectmen to take the initiative in the lead in setting up a workshop to bring the three boards together so that you can begin to take a look collaboratively at our sewer system and gather the facts and get on the same page as to exactly what the status of the system, what the current capacity is, and what the remaining capacity is, so that you can begin to work towards a plan for managing the remaining capacity and allocating what we have towards whatever the priorities turn out to be based on the vote of the town and the recommendations of the group. But I think you may be aware that there is a requirement per the article at town meeting to have a report of some type at fall town meeting. Now, I think the article calls for a report with recommendations, and I think we're all realistic enough to know we won't get that far by fall town meeting. But we would sure love to see the process begin. So I don't know if you've had a chance to schedule a date yet, but I'm here on behalf of the group that put the article forward to encourage you to do that as soon as possible.
Perfect. Thank you. One of the things that I brought on and was given to me at the beginning was this collaboration between committees. Mm-hmm. And I'm taking it very, very seriously. I've been working with Mitch to put that together. And joint meetings, right now it's in the form of single meetings along with our selectmen's meetings. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking forward to those joint meetings with 2 or 3 committees to do exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I haven't gone, Planning Board is one of my liaison assignments, and I'll be going to the first one I possibly can. I take those obviously very seriously as well. And I think that's going to come out as we all do here. So I'm looking forward to that. Denise, did you want to say something? No? Okay. Good.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
yes,
perfect. So that's great.
Great agenda. And then secondly, I just wanted to, again, put in a plea for the Building Study Committee. I don't know if there's been any further progress in recruiting people to that committee. I have my little green sheet to get signed by the clerk, but would love to see some fellow townspeople on that committee. I know the DPW is anxious to get them started and get that committee
Mitch, any
started as
movement
well.
on that?
I believe we advertised again, and
Oh, you advertised?
I believe there was another room in Rockport Ramblings. Usually we say something. If it wasn't in this past Saturday, it's in this coming one. I thought it was going in this past one. We haven't had anybody else who's jumped forward yet.
I have been asking
around. So this is a call to anyone who's watching us. We're looking for a volunteer to join Monica and one other person on the building study committee. Really urgently need your help. So if you have some time, it's not a lot of time, but if you have some time, we'll be working with really excellent people, very experienced, so please come forward.
Great.
Thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you very much. Public comment, anybody else? Please.
Good evening, Jason Shaw, 9 Athena Way. I'm here to talk about two things again briefly. First one is, as you know, I'm on the planning board, and the last planning board meeting, I don't think you were there, Don. But
I wasn't. No, I haven't been able to come in. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I just one of the things that was discussed at the meeting without any real resolution was whether there is a need for a liaison from the planning board to this board. And then it came up, well, what is a liaison going to do? What does a liaison do? Do they report to the board? Do they just sit there and listen? And that was kind of the end of it. So I thought, okay, well, let me ask this board, is there a thought that a planning board representative should be a liaison to this board, like kind of the reverse of what you're doing? Or is that unnecessary?
Well, if I may,
Please,
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
anyone's obviously more than welcome to come to the meetings, and we do have regularly have finance committee members come and so forth, but we would welcome that, because a lot of times, you know, we're meeting twice, at least twice, sometimes 3 times a month. So if a planning board member could come, I'm only speaking for myself. I would welcome that.
I understand that. And I guess what I'm saying is not so much as, like, I'm appearing here today. No one told me, oh, go to the Board of Selectmen's meeting and discuss this. I thought for informational purposes for the planning board, it would be good to know this information. So I see it as a difference, Paul, between someone being here in kind of an official capacity as a representative of the planning board and simply coming, like I'm coming tonight. I happen to be on the planning board, but I'm also a resident of Rockport, so I bring this up. And so you know, are you saying that you thinking that a liaison would be a desirable thing?
So, if I may, I believe, Mr. Chair, that you've had some discussions with Chairman Lilia on this topic.
I have.
So I'm not sure where. I think they've had some discussions on it. So
We have. And I'd be happy to, go ahead,
Yeah.
please, finish.
Yeah, well, okay. And I'm not trying to steal his thunder at all, but I just got the sense from the last meeting that we had on the planning board that it was really, no one really knew what to do, essentially, what a liaison would do. So if that can be furthered by further discussions between you and Herm, then fine.
I'd be happy to do that. Let me shed a little light on this if I can, and tell you or explain to you what I think the vision is on this, because it seems that there's no secret, there's been friction between the Board of Selectmen and the Planning Board. Okay?
I never would have thought that.
I know, right? See that? So what I did by that outreach, by calling Herm, which I called him a couple of times actually, was to reach out and extend an olive and say, listen, we have some very large problems looming in Rockport of a financial nature that all boards are going to need to work together on to find good solutions to. When I talked to Herm, you know, I explained to him that I'm not going to those meetings to try to influence your policy or to do anything like that. Your board is your board. My job as liaison to your board, at least the way I see it, and others can view theirs in any way they wish, is to report back to this board and tell them what's going on. That's why we have the selectmen, town administrator updates and liaison reports. Okay? So your board acts in the fashion that you wish to do it, and I won't get in the way of that. And I don't think anybody else will. But to think that I'm going to come to your meeting or anybody else will and not voice an opinion would be foolhardy. We have every right to do that. I think we should do that. And I think in the spirit of cooperation, I'm glad you're here doing that. Herm asked me, would you mind if, would it be okay if I came to your meetings? And I spoke up and I said, Herm, not only would I want you to do that, if anybody got in your way, I would make sure they never got in your way again. Because absolutely he has a voice and he should say something. Regardless of whatever friction there may exist, everybody has a right to have their voice heard as far as I'm concerned. What I think gets lost in all of this, and I've said this repeatedly for a long time, the Board of Selectmen has to know a lot about everything in town. Police, fire, planning, all of the different committees and such that are in town. We have to kind of know it all. You guys need to know everything there is about planning and still know other things about other boards, of course, because they kind of interconnect and there's a lot of things that work together. My point is that the Board of Selectmen is the lead authority in town. That's just the way it is. That's the way it's written. That's the way it is. We're not trying to exert any over authority over anybody. Your board is your board. You're an elected board. You do as you see fit. But what I'm trying to do right now is foster the spirit of cooperation so we can all work together to get through these coming up tumultuous times. That's all it is. And I think for the planning board or anybody on that board to read into that in any further wouldn't be to the benefit of the town. It's just to report so we know what's going on. We're not trying to influence you. You're not trying to influence us. That's just the way it is. I mean, am I off on this?
No, I think
am I missing
I think
anything?
they're two different issues. I think, and I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
That you have. It's great that you're there, and
Will be. I haven't been there yet.
Well,
I'm sorry.
That you will be. Of course, you will be.
Right, of
and
course.
that it will be certainly valuable for you to say whatever you want to say. I mean, you're a citizen of the town too. You're not
Of
just
course.
up on the board, so you have a right to speak. There are
Mm-hmm.
people at the planning board who speak many, many, many times more than they really need to. But in any event, what I'm bringing up though is kind of the reverse of that, and maybe this has further discussion with Mr. Lilja, is a liaison from the planning board to this board. If that's something that's a good idea, what would be the role of that person? What would they do when they come to this board? Should they report to this board about, hey, this is what we're doing? Some people say, well, okay, they get the minutes, but that's not the same. It's not
Right.
the same getting the minutes and reading the minutes.
That's right.
It's saying, I mean, there are things that are being done in the planning board which I think that this board will want to know about in a big way. But you don't know about it because you just don't.
And why don't we?
Because there's nobody here telling you this is what we're doing.
This is exactly why I will.
Mr. Chair, if I yeah.
I will, Mitch, thank you. This is exactly why I've opened the lines of communication.
Good.
And this is why I want to do this. So I think we're talking past each other right now, only because what you're looking for and what we're looking for, I think, is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's just different roles.
Exactly.
And I don't want anybody on the planning board, especially the chairman, to think that I'm here trying to usurp anything. I'm here for the benefit of the board, not for my personal benefit. I'm here because there was a lack of clarity at the last meeting that we had of the planning board as to what the role of a possible liaison, not you, Mr. Campbell, but a liaison from what a planning board member what kind of role would they play if they were a liaison to this board. So that's something to think about also. I just raised that. I don't want to take up any more of your time.
No, that's okay, but stay there, please, Rich.
So, Mr. Chair, I believe, based on discussions that you and I have had, and ones that you've had with Chairman Lilia, I believe the planning board is set to come in on the 24th for a discussion.
Yep.
So we can certainly add as a topic that evening is the role of the liaison amongst the
Exactly.
board.
Well,
We
that's
can
good.
certainly
That
address as
may
a
have
group.
happened after our meeting.
I believe
discussion.
it might have.
Yeah, after our meeting. And
That was done purposely.
Yeah.
And I called Herm, and I invited him to the first available meeting that he could get to. He told me he wasn't able to make it to tonight's meeting, and that he would be at the next one. So is Debbie putting together the list that I asked her to so we can set up all of the slots for everybody?
Yes, we're working through that.
Perfect. So we are reaching out, we as the Board of Selectmen are reaching out to all committees in town to have them come into a meeting that we will put at the beginning of each meeting so everybody can get right to it and go from there. So I think let's keep everything civil. Let's keep an open mind on everything, and then let's just have the idea of moving forward. That's all.
all in agreement.
Great.
Well,
We're going to do great then.
The other thing that has nothing to do with what I've been talking about is last couple of evenings I've noticed the parking in this residents-only lot. It's hardly residents-only, and a lot of times it's full, and there are people parking there who are not residents, who do not have resident stickers.
Have you called up to the police station at all?
I haven't, but
That would be,
I
I
thought
mean,
a
I
higher
was at the
authority would
Seaview
be-
Street lot the other day, and I was there, I counted a dozen people with no stickers.
no sticker.
No stickers.
Yeah, it's
No stickers.
they're
One
just-
lady actually came up to me, she actually came up to me and said, if I park here, will they tow me? I said, well, you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't have picked the worst person to
Right.
talk to. And I said, you do what you want, I'm just telling you that this is not a lot for people.
Well, okay, I'm bringing it up to you as a board and to your town administrator because I think it would be probably more appropriate, more effective if someone in the government reached out to the chief of police and said, hey,
And we have.
you guys
I know we
feel
have,
a
I
little
have.
better,
Yep.
especially off hours.
If I
you know.
can,
Please.
I've dealt with this issue for the last 9 years or 8 years that I've been on the Board of Selectmen, and I've talked to Chief McCarthy, now Chief Horvath. They do the best they can. There's only a couple patrol cars on if they get a call and so forth, but they're very cognizant of the fact that the resident parking can be an issue, and they try to ticket the cars as soon as they can, but it's something that they know about and they
Well,
need
that's
to do.
good. And it's only an issue because I couldn't find a parking space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
I agree.
I got my resident sticker, I
Yeah.
can't find a spot.
If we pay and others don't, it's not fair to the people who
Right,
do.
exactly.
Mr.
I-
Chair,
I agree with you.
I'll speak with the chief tomorrow again to
Okay.
rediscuss. He's not.
He's not. Yeah. We'll take care of it. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to working with you folks. I really am. Please, thank you. That's great. Anybody else for public comment?
I think we're
Ruthie,
with
I'm
one.
sorry.
I was just gonna say, the chief always wants people to call.
Yes.
Just pick up the phone and call in.
Right.
On your cell phone and say, I'm down here, these people don't have stickers. Sometimes they're telling them, yeah, to put them on the front windshield, so they can be seen better, not on the back windshield. So that is a concern. They are on the front windshield, and that's what the police are trying to tell people, because they can be seen better on the front windshield.
Right.
So, but they do want you to call anytime you have a problem. They'll send them, okay.
Great. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Everybody good? Denise?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else for public comment period? No? Okay. We're gonna change things just a little bit. We've had to cancel the interview for Sydney Jimenez to the reappointment to the Board of Health, an interview of Lynn Flynn to the Historic District Commission. And by the way, I'm sorry, I should have said this at the onset. Sarah has a family thing that she has to take care of, and she sends her regrets in not being able to be here. I know that she hates missing meetings, so I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. So it wasn't just she was late for the meeting. But we are going to bump up, if it's okay, the interview of Willow Barry for a street performer license, because she has somewhere to be right after this, and she has to get there fairly quickly. So if we could. Willow,
Would you like a motion?
yeah, let's have a motion, please.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign a street performer license for Willow Barry, subject to successful query results.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Welcome, Willow. I don't know if you want to stand, I know you have your ankle, but you want to sit at the chair right there? Is that okay? Are you sure? I don't want her to put any weight on it if she doesn't have to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Why don't you tell us a little about what you're looking to do?
I wanted to busk because I really love to play music and I love to sing and play my guitar.
Willow, one second, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Is her mic on?
Yours isn't on either.
We're all green.
Raise the house volume. Get real close to it. Not like.
Like this?
Just sing a little bit. Go ahead.
I really like to play music and I wanted to busk because I love to play music and I really love to sing and play my guitar. And my friend Simon Dixon, he's been busking for I think like a few years and he said he's been having a lot of fun and we're really close friends and I kind of wanted to try it out because he says it's a lot of fun and I just really love to perform and play music.
You said, what? Say that again. Busking?
Yeah, like street performing.
Busking.
That's
I-
what it's called.
is it?
Singing on the street.
Oh, that's all. I think it's awesome. I just never heard it before. I'm sorry. I'd never heard. Because I see on here it's guitar, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to be amplified at all, or is it just acoustic?
Probably just acoustic.
Just acoustic?
Just acoustic.
And where are you going to be?
I'm not really sure.
Bearskin Neck, Donovan's Corner, it looks like? Yeah,
Yeah, she'll probably end up where Simon goes. That's like probably
Right.
doing it together is what they will probably do. And I know I think when I talked to his mom, that he's usually on Bearskin Neck somewhere. She said there's 3 different locations that he's done in the past.
Right.
Bearskin Neck, so I'm not sure. Probably wherever he's at.
that's awesome.
Yes.
I think it adds to the charm of the town. I think it's fantastic. I really do.
Guitar?
Yeah.
Are you going to perform? She can. She didn't know
I
if you guys
can't.
were
I
gonna
wasn't
want
sure if
her
she
to.
wanted me
I
to.
would absolutely love it. I can't speak for everybody else, but I would love it. Would you do a little something? You don't have to do a whole
Sure.
song, but would you mind? Let's make sure we get the cameras right on her when she does this.
For our next street performers, FYI, if you want to get your instruments out.
Right? Just a minute or so, if that, and you're good. What can I do? I don't know. I think Mitch just did, but Becca, right? You getting ready?
Imagine there's no heaven. It isn't hard to do. Nothing below us.
That's okay. Don't worry. You're doing great.
All the people living for today. May say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
That was awesome.
Willow,
Thank
that
you.
was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. It's tough to be put on the spot, but you
Yeah,
stepped right up
you
to
did
it.
it.
Great job. That's great.
I'm going to come looking for you.
All right. Anybody else have anything for Willow?
No, thank you, Willow.
Everybody good? All right. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Carries 4-0. Great job. Have fun down there. Good job. You're very welcome. Good luck tonight. I hope that all works
Yeah.
out. Oh. You're right?
Right.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you
know.
so much. All right. Let's move on to the interview of Kevin Choi and David Adley for street performer licenses. Is there a motion?
Do I have that? Yes, I do. I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign a street performer license for Kevin Cho and David Adley subject to successful query results.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Are
Are they-
Kevin and David here? Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to put that one off too. I
We'll
guess,
have
right?
to get postponed to the next meeting, correct?
So now that that motion's been made and it's open, what do we do with that one, Mitch?
So with
Close it.
that one, there'd be no action on it now, so that motion just dies.
Yeah.
So a motion,
Even though it's been made and opened? I just wanna
correct,
make sure we
it's
follow
just,
the rules.
yes, it's dead now.
Okay.
You could motion to postpone to the next meeting.
Okay. We'll make that motion now?
So moved.
So moved. Second?
Second.
Second. Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We postpone until the next meeting. That's great. Okay. That's great. The interview of Olive Sauter and Asher Sauter for street performer licenses.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign street performer licenses for Olive Sauter and Asher Sauter, subject to successful query results.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Come on up, guys. You can bend that down if you like. I feel your pain. I'm a short guy too, so I get it. Why don't you tell us a little about what's going on and what you're
Yeah.
going to do?
So my name is Asher Souder, and I have been juggling for about 1 year, and you, Mr. Campbell, came to my school, and so I am here because of you coming to my school.
That's
So
awesome.
I think I would like to juggle.
I got to tell you, if for the 3 years that I'll be on this board, that is the highlight of my time here.
I agree.
Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you.
I'm Olive Sauter, Asher's brother, and I would also like to. I can juggle too, and I also love to jump rope.
I think it's awesome.
So are we going to see a demonstration tonight?
You guys know the
Yeah.
drill. Let's go. Jump to it.
Want to come out here in the
Come
middle?
on out here.
Come on out in the middle.
Yes,
Right
you
up
may.
there, yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Wow.
Look at this.
Very good. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
That is awesome.
I'll come watch you.
Way to go.
Mesmerizing.
Yeah.
I want to throw a buck in your hat right now. That's awesome.
Cool.
Wow. That is focus.
Aye.
Very good.
Oh, no, he's going. Keep
Oh,
going.
he's still going.
But wait, there's more.
Now I need to know. I'm gonna talk to you while you're juggling. So I know my daughter goes for juggling in the morning. You part of the whole juggling club in the morning? So where are you on that whole? Are you a master? Tied for the first.
I can tell
That's
why.
obvious. That's fantastic. Awesome.
Do
I
another
love
one
it.
up high. I like that one.
This one.
And then spin around.
Oh, nicely
Look
done.
at this.
Look at that.
Wow.
Is that cascade or waterfall? What do you call that?
It's columns.
Columns. Okay, columns.
Oh.
Oh, outstanding.
well,
But thank you. That was great. This is one of the most fun selectmen meetings I've been
Yeah.
to. Come on up.
Okay.
So you two are going to work together on this. Is that right? Is that
Yeah.
what we're looking to do?
Yeah.
Good.
That's what we're playing on.
Good.
Whoa. Don't get hurt. I like the sound effects.
I know. Cool.
Backwards.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Yikes.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
Very good. Oh, cool.
I used to
That
be able
was-
to do that.
Right?
Not to that extent.
Yeah.
You guys are going to clean up.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so
Wow.
much. And thank you for the kind words. That was great. Thank you. That meant a lot. Okay. You've heard it. Any further discussion?
Nope.
None.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. You guys are in. Good job.
Great.
All right.
That's fantastic. Good for you. All right. Guess what? Guess who's next? The interview of Laura Penaloza for street performer license. Is there a motion?
There is. I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign a street performer license for Laura Penaloza, subject to successful query results.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Come on up. You're on the hot seat. Yo, tell us a little bit about what's going on, what you're going to do, and then we'll go from there.
Up at the
Up at the mic up there.
So I wanted to get my street performing license because, well, throughout the year I usually play at smaller performances at school, and so during the summer I wanted more of an outlet to just have fun and play, I guess, a little bit to spend my time.
What kind of music do you play? Do you like?
I do a lot of different covers and stuff of different musicians that I really enjoy listening to, and yeah, I play usually guitar and ukulele. So
Great.
yeah.
How about a little sample?
Okay. I don't usually stand while I play, but
Sit down. You can sit
Yeah,
down.
sit
That's
down.
okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sit down.
You-
Sit down.
Sit right up here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Or right over there where the mic is, too.
Wherever you'd like to be.
Let's turn that on.
Jealous of the rain that falls upon your skin.
jealous of the wind that ripples through your clothes, closer than my hands have been. 'Cause I'm jealous of the rain. 'Cause I wish you the best of all this world could give. And I told you when you left me, there's nothing to forget. But I always thought you'd come back, tell me all you found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say, jealous of the way you're happy without me. It's hard for me to say, jealous of the way you're happy without me.
Nicely done.
Very good.
I got to tell you, Sarah is going to be so bummed out she missed this
Yep,
meeting.
yep,
That was
yep.
That was phenomenal. And you know what I'm hearing is amazing talent and a school system that has brought these kids up to this point and has just fostered their talent. So the kids are phenomenal. The school system has helped all that. So this is great. What a great thing to see tonight.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah,
Great
that was
job.
phenomenal.
everyone.
All right.
I would like
Yeah.
to see us kind of take all these street performers and kind of, so we have a 2 or 3 a meeting, you know? It's really,
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Back here the next meeting.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually we get into fights with people and
Yeah,
so
right?
forth. So this is like
Very
ready to,
nice.
free bird.
Yeah, see that? There you go. Well, that's great.
Lovely.
Thank you, everyone.
Great. Good
Perfect.
Thank you,
job.
John.
Okay.
Good
Any further
job.
discussion?
None.
Perfect. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You carry. Motion
Thank you,
carries
guys.
4-0. Thank you to all of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great job. I'll come down and see you.
I know.
Proud daddy, John, right?
Yeah.
I don't blame you, buddy. All right? Well, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck down there. Thank you.
Bye now.
Well, listen, maybe you guys should stay and perform. Everybody cleared out. We have nobody. We have nobody left.
No company.
We'll offer entertainment and refreshments or
right.
something,
Yep.
right? Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, now the stuff that everybody wants. The approval of minutes from June 26, 2018. Is there a motion?
I move that selectmen approve the minutes of June 26, 2018.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Further discussion? Everybody read them over? Everybody good?
Yep.
No problems, additions, changes? We're good?
Very detailed.
All right. Yep, perfect. Once again, Eileen knocks it out of the park. There you go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. And let's get to the Selectmen and Town Administrator updates. Mitch, we'll start with you. How's that?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Want to thank everyone involved in the 4th of July festivities from last week. It was an excellent, excellent day. The parade was wonderful. The bonfire was fantastic. Kudos to our public safety departments who were involved, police, fire, our public works crew who was hustling that day doing trash, bathrooms, and
I saw
going
them.
through. They were really moving, those two guys.
Yeah.
And kudos certainly to all the volunteers who were involved in that. That was a wonderful day, and that's quintessential Rockport. And the 4th of July a reading of the Declaration of Independence by the Rotary. It was really just a fantastic, fantastic day.
Yeah, it's funny. I couldn't be there, but I watched it after, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. It really was. It was Facebook Live. Somebody had it on. It was great.
I have to say, I'm not an emotional guy, as my wife would say, but the reading of, I'm glad I said that on TV too. By the way. No, the fact that it's emotional when you listen to the lyric of not the lyrics, the reading of the
yeah.
Declaration and the way they perform it. I got a little lump in my throat. I really did. It was really cool. One thing that I do want to, I think that the Rockport Police Department, the fire department, everyone involved, the DPW cleaning up, emptying trash bags and trash barrels and so forth, it was all great. But I think we need to really, and I've said this, I think this is the second year in a row, I think we really need to look at getting food trucks in here for 4th of July. A number of restaurants were closed, even though we sent a letter and we asked them to stay open, and I understand that they want to be with their families and so forth. So I think that we need to start looking maybe in January of getting some food trucks in here down on Back Beach. So when I say food trucks, if you go to Boston, they're pretty elaborate and they're pretty nice food, and you got Italian, you got Chinese and French and so forth, and I think we need to look at that because it's not just Rockport. Because I was driving around the North Shore. And I noticed a lot of restaurants said we're going to be closed from July 4th to the 6th to give our employees a break. But so I think that we need to look at that. And my question also is, we have the other large event that we have in town is Illumination Night. Will the restaurants be opening for that night, or are they going to do the same thing? Feather and Wedge did not open. I think it was Fish Shack closed at 2. Brackets closed at 2. Blue Lobster at 8 o'clock. So I mean, I think as a board we need to look at that because it's a little on the embarrassing side when people can't get some food after the parade. So, and I'm not disrespecting the restaurants by any means, but I mean, if they want to do this, well, we have to have an alternative. Right.
And it was always planned for Rotary. They started the Illumination Night the same night as the Rotary Lobster Bake, so that they could take part together.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's always worked out well, too.
So that's in the afternoon, and then the illumination starts at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and it goes till 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
I think the
Okay.
Lobster Bake.
Okay, but I'm wondering, do we need to look at something? I don't think. I mean, talking off the top of my head, I don't think that restaurants are going to close for that.
To my understanding, I think for that event, most of them will be open. I think some of them are even planning some specialties around that, some special offerings for that.
Okay, but for next 4th of July 2019, we really need to look at maybe encouraging some food trucks in there because this happens every year. And again, I'm not upset with the restaurants and so forth, but we need to have people that's able to get some food.
Certainly, certainly a conversation we can have as well with the Firemen's Association and coordinating with them so that we don't trample on the fundraising they're doing with their vendor, and we can coordinate something nicely.
They're not doing that anymore.
No, I got one.
But, well, it was Top Dog that was down there. You got your
there was nothing given out. Top Dog was selling as a vendor for.
That's what I'm saying. But didn't the firemen do that?
They
used to.
They just don't want to.
They don't do that anymore.
Okay.
It's been I think this may be the second year they didn't
do it.
Is
it the second year?
They didn't do it last year, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Top Dog was there also.
Yeah, which they did a great job. I mean,
they did.
That was fine.
So
the fried dough was a nice addition too.
The fried dough is very nice. So certainly a good conversation to have with them to see how we can coordinate and make something work. I agree. We want to be sure that we have enough offerings for folks in town.
Sure.
The last thing we want to do is get them here and have no place to go.
Exactly. No, that's great. Yep. That's great. What else you have? Anything?
I will defer for the moment any other items so that we can keep the pace going for you. I don't want to delay anything.
Good. How about you folks?
Just to follow up for CPC appropriations for 2018, the total they have appropriated is $509,000. And going forward for September town meeting is Evansfield entrance, the DPW put in an application and got $15,000. Davis Park plantings at Old Garden Beach Association, $25,000. Straight Smith Island, various improvements, Thatcher Island Association, $31,200. Rockport Art Association, they're going to have some roofing work to protect the paintings, and they were awarded, hopefully will be awarded, $52,800. Harvey Park, a study and construction engineering, including Barletta Park, and that's with the Beautification Committee, and that's for $35,000. Conservation Commission to rebuild the fund to buy open space, $100,000, and the Granite Street Crossing Affordable Housing Project, the Harbor Light, $250,000. So those are what they have put forward, and will bring at fall town meeting for town vote to see if those will be passed. But that's what I'm the liaison to CPC, so that will be great.
I have a question about the Evans Field entrance. I thought that the DPW already had the funding
Exactly.
for that. Are you-
It was, this is other funding they needed to.
complete it?
To complete it. This is
Okay.
for a ramp that's
Right,
going
the
up.
handicapped entrance.
Handicap that's going
Well,
all
there was,
across
wasn't
the
there
side.
40,000
There was
appropriated
money
for
left
that?
over from the.
There was, I believe, 25,000
Okay.
from the MBTA parking lot.
Right.
I was under the same impression that
Yeah.
it was all set, but apparently
Right.
Yeah,
further
they
work
came-
is needed.
More money.
Once they
Right.
get into the ramp, they need to address the surface area
Grading.
Right.
Okay.
as well.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, good. Anything else, Ruth?
No, that's it.
Good. Denise?
Yes, I had the honor of attending the Boy Scouts Eagle Scout ceremony on Sunday. And I have to say, every single kid who's part of that troop, Troop 20, is very impressive. The 2 Eagle Scouts were just, we should be so proud as a town for what these young men have achieved, and for all the adults who volunteer their time to support that group. It was just a really moving ceremony, and my dad was an Eagle Scout, and my nephew, so I felt a real connection to the event. So I was really happy to have been part of that, and I expressed our gratitude on part of the board and the town. I also attended the Historical Commission meeting. I think it was week before last, and we talked some more about the initiative they have underway with the satellite dish question. And I got to learn a little bit more about the process and kind of how they work. So it was, I'm glad I had a chance to attend. That's it.
Perfect. Murph?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I have a few things. First of all, Sunday I couldn't be there because it was my daughter's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday, Riley Campbell, 13. I have another teenager. This is my 3rd teenager in the house. One left to go.
God
Right?
help you.
So she had a great day, and we had obviously a day full of teenager things to do that day. Second of all, I want to commend, in particular, right now, the Rockport Police Department for what happened yesterday and the way it was all handled. I thought that they did an absolutely tremendous job, and I think it illustrated a really important point that even in a small, sleepy town, that things can happen that can be life-threatening, whether it be a police action or somebody in distress or what have you. So they did a great job, and that was a joint effort with the Gloucester Police Department. And my profound thanks go to the Rockport Police, and especially all of the other services as well, because I don't want police and ambulance to get forgotten in this, because they've been extra busy lately too. We get the board updates from Mitch when he sends them out, when he tells us things that are going on. Unfortunately, our phones have been going off more often than they should, because it's some unfortunate things that have been happening, but they're all being handled by professionals in town. They do a great job. So thank you to police, fire, EMS, and everybody that does that. The next thing would be the tomorrow night there's a Millbrook Meadow meeting. They've secured a contractor that's going to bring them to the final phase of what's going on. Tomorrow night there's a meeting at 7 o'clock, and that was exciting to hear. Sam sent out an email today, so that's a great thing. And then the last thing that I know everybody loves are going to
My favorite part of the meeting.
favorite, right? Even more than the kids? No, I bet the kids rank a little bit above
Oh,
this,
Don,
don't they?
this is
Right?
good.
All right, so let's go
Your
with.
delivery is.
Yeah, I'm trying. So let's go with Selectman Campbell signed the payroll treasury warrant for 7/12 in the amount of $153,317.67. Selectman Campbell signed the appropriation treasury warrant for 7/12/2018 in the amount of $94,629.90. Selectman Campbell signed the appropriation treasury warrant for 6/30/2018 in the amount of, keep you in suspense, $72,276.17. Selectman Campbell signed the payroll warrant number 53 totaling $0 and expense warrant number 53 totaling $131,974.89 on July 3rd, 2018. Selectman Campbell signed the payroll warrant number 1 totaling $249,467.59 and expense warrant number 1 totaling $1,814,538.33 on July 3rd. And that will do it for those. Anybody else? Everybody else good? Yep. Good, thanks.
Thank you.
Good. So it's nice. Everybody seems, everybody's reaching out to their liaison appointments, and we're all actively involved in this stuff. It's really nice to see. So we're going to really bring a spirit of town cooperation together. So it's nice to see that. That's great.
So
Okay.
let me ask a question, Don. You mentioned earlier that you've been working with Mitch. What is going on? What are we doing?
So what we're going to do is I've worked with Mitch, and we've put together a list of the boards and committees in town.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie is reaching out to those individual boards and committees rather than them come to us, because we don't want to wait. We want to be proactive and go to them.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie's reaching out to them and scheduling them for a time at the beginning of our meeting, probably either just before or just after public comment period, wherever we decide to slot it in, for a 10 or 15-minute update on what's going on. It's kind of like the Jim Ugone did last week, or at our last meeting, and that's what's going to happen. So we can everybody can know what's going on, and we're not guessing what's the planning board doing. One of us may go or may not go. We may not know what's going on,
Smart
or
move.
somebody. So we just all the intention is to open up the lines of communication, and that's what it is. So that's it. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. Good. Moving along. Let's go to the action list. The annual reappointments for boards, committees, and commissions. L1. That would be Denise.
Correct. I move that the board appoint Peter Haskell as a member of the Thatcher and Strait Smith Island Committee for a term to expire on June 30th, 2019.
Seconded? Oh,
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Nope, we're good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. L2, the appointment of Quincy Carvino as technical support specialist. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to keep going with one, right?
Yeah.
We have one more under one. That's you,
Yep.
Murph. Go ahead.
I move
Sorry.
that the Board of Selectmen appoint Bill Beloff and Chip Tarbell as members of the Long Beach Infrastructure Committee for terms to expire on June 30th, 2019.
Motion's been made. Second?
seconded.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Now we'll go to L2.
I move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Quincy Carvino as an IS&T Technical Support Specialist effective July 11th, 2018, employee at will.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this one?
No?
Nope.
Moving right along. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Carries 4-0. The approval of the police chief employment contract.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign an employment contract for Police Chief John K. Horvath for a 5-year term to expire on June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. And I just want to say on this one that John was, my only regret with John is that I wasn't able to be as part of that whole vote to get him here, because John is a great guy, does a great job, and he's a great motivator. And
Actually, can I brag here?
yeah, go.
It was my vote.
They did it?
Yeah.
Nice, huh?
2-2. You were there.
Good work.
It was
Right?
2-2. And I went back and forth, and it was, and I'm not going to say who voted with whatever, but it was my
Well, you
vote.
said what you voted for.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I did, yeah, so.
And I came to all of those interviews
Yeah.
back
Right.
then.
Yeah.
He was
He
impressive.
was impressive. He was my top.
And he hasn't disappointed.
Not
At
at
Not
all.
even close.
He hasn't
Nope.
disappointed. So I think a profound thanks goes to the chief for what he does. So thank you, chief, and we're happy to do this. That's a great thing. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion cheerfully carries.
Yeah, nicely done.
Let's go with the change of precinct 1 polling location to town hall annex.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve the change of Precinct 1 polling location to the Town Hall Annex.
Motion been made. Is there a second?
Seconded?
There you go. Motion been made and seconded. Further discussion on this one?
Yeah, so we used to vote, this is Pigeon Cove, right?
Correct.
We used to vote at the Pigeon Cove Circle.
Yes.
Why can't we vote there anymore? Why did
And that was no longer an option.
Oh.
There were too many logistical issues with that facility, so we did need to find another one.
And now we're being moved to the town
It,
hall.
it,
and-
it was because, yes, the clerk and her wardens felt that it was too much in one room. They did try at one point using 2 floors. Folks were uncomfortable using the elevator, climbing the stairs, so they tried just 1 floor,
Yeah.
and that became too cumbersome to have 2 precincts moving through that one room. So the clerk feels that, and her wardens have suggested to her to utilize the lobby area of the town hall annex. An open area, again, bathrooms, parking, kitchen facilities there. So that would put all of our voting precincts in a clustered area. One would stay at the community house, one at St. Mary's, and one in the annex in this case.
Are 3 within 100 yards of each other necessary? I mean, would it be, do we have to have individual for each one? I mean, because if
could
you
all
have the
be-
annex and you have the church, I mean, they're right next door to each other, so how does that?
You don't. There's no obligation that they have to be 3 separate buildings. They can be all together, 1 together, 2 together, etc.
Right.
It's
And I
it's
don't
really
wanna,
up
I
to
want
the
to make it
town.
easier for people to vote, not more
Sure.
difficult. so.
It's up to the town. It's the town's preference. The clerk presented this after the last election. From my understanding, it was just too much happening in that 1 floor, in that 1 room of the community
And
house.
it does have limited parking there. I mean, it really
Parking
does.
is tough.
At least you have the parking lot down here, you have out on Main Street, Broadway. It's a lot faster move over down here and turnover for parking as it is up there at the community house for 2 groups. That's
Have we
really
ever
hard.
considered using the school?
Well, no,
So-
schools have, they stopped doing that because a number of
to be
years
locked
ago,
down.
There's
the
a
guy
safety
broke
issue,
in, cleared out a cafeteria when
Oh.
an elderly man, so they want to even
They have
stay
to be
away from
locked down.
schools.
It wasn't, one of them was in the school, I think, for a
Yeah.
number of
many
years.
years.
Yeah, so
Many
it
years.
Oh,
did
yeah.
move out.
Pigeon Cove, South End was at the school.
I think that was when that was my
I think when
first
you ran,
election.
it was
The first time around, I think.
it was there, correct.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So this is the clerk's recommendation. She's asking that you consider that the board does need to approve a voting location. Should you approve it this evening, she would issue a postcard to all voters in that precinct, alerting them of the change of location.
So everyone was made aware and.
Yes, they would all get a postcard. It would go up on the website. Any other way we could share the information.
Okay, good.
And we
All
could
right.
obviously put, if people go to the wrong place,
It's not that far to the next
Right.
one.
no.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, I just wish we had more accessible locations as far as areas of town, because you take the two ends of town and everything's smushed in the middle now.
Yeah.
So.
It's good when you're campaigning them.
Yeah, I
Denise
guess.
always says that.
What is it, 100 feet? We're gonna have to be up on like
Yeah.
Parker Street or something.
I know, you won't be able to do
See?
the corner here. You'll be up in front of town hall.
Correct. The area in front of the resident lot will be problematic now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Oh, that's right.
That'll be you, Dawn, so.
yeah, see, that's right, I'm next.
Yeah.
That's it. All
That's right. You won't be able to hold signs?
No, you can't
No.
because it's
I
too
think that's
close.
gonna be too
Reconsider.
close.
I was just wondering. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only
Yeah.
kidding. No, I'm okay with it.
Wow, yeah, that
Okay.
is a difference.
Right. All right, good.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
None.
Good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, let's move on to the 150 Long Beach lease transfer to Timothy and Rebecca Griffin.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign a lease for 150 Long Beach with Timothy and Rebecca Griffin of 159 Salem Street, Unit 3, Boston, Mass., to reflect a transfer of ownership.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Further discussion? Standard transfer.
Standard transfer.
There we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. Let's go to 152 Long Beach lease to reflect a change of address. Is there a motion?
Wait a minute.
Did it?
I'm sorry. Was the one for Griffin, was that for the McInneses and Mary Tenebra? Because I'm friends with Mary Tenebra, and it just occurred to me, maybe I shouldn't have signed it and or voted on it. Can I see the
Fri-
packet? Sorry.
Mine's on my phone, I'm sorry.
It just occurred to me.
Was 150 is Mary Tenebra.
Yeah, so should I
Does she need to
not?
recuse from that?
Just a friend?
She's a friend.
Friends, no financial relationship?
No, well, she's the boss of my boss.
She's the boss of your boss.
Mm.
We've,
Should we do a do-over?
well,
We already
you voted already, so I think if you just declare
Okay.
that now, it's known
What
for the
a-
record.
Should she file anything with the clerk? Is that necessary? I don't want to overdo it, but
I don't know that it's
Just because the
necessary in
vote's
this
been
case.
taken.
I'll double check with our ethics folks tomorrow, but
No, it's okay.
you know,
Honest
it's
mistake.
declared now. I think you're declaring that you were friendly with her. There's a potential work relationship, although not a direct reporting structure.
Right.
And if there is something you need to file, we'll check and let you know tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. All right,
All
great.
right, on to the next
All right,
one.
so that vote's been taken. We're good with that one, right?
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign a lease for 152 Long Beach with Richard David Viestra and Heidi A. Viestra to reflect a change of address.
Motion,
Second.
motion been made and seconded. Further discussion on this one? Know anybody there? No. All right, we're good. We're all set. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll go to the inn holder license for the Sally Webster Inn.
I move that the board approve and sign a inn holder's license for Sally Webster Inn to expire on the 31st of December 2018.
Second.
Everybody's fighting for seconds
I
tonight.
know, I know.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this one?
Nope.
No, we good? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. And then we will go to the year-end transfers.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and ask the chairperson to sign the following year-end transfers. $1,385 from the ambulance training and development to EMT wages. $1,959.07 from ambulance vehicle maintenance to EMT wages. And $200 from ambulance office supplies to EMT wages.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this one?
Uptick in calls, they're paid per call. End of the year was tough to judge how much more we
Yeah.
need, so this
I was
rectifies
just
it.
curious.
Yep.
about that. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. That's great. All right, that's regular business. Now we have any other business or announcements? Anybody have anything? Ruthie?
I just have a question, Mitch. Have we had any response for the grant writer?
We have not. We did advertise once, and we did not get any results. We're trying to tweak it a little bit more. I've reached out again today, actually, to the person who helped me kind of craft the general idea to see if I
Okay.
can try from another angle. So we will try again once we get a slight tweak there.
Can I ask you to, I really would like to explore the possibility of sharing with
Okay.
another community.
Yeah, Gloucester.
Well, I mean, it could be almost any community. Gloucester would be great because we have somebody there.
Sure.
But would the MMA, the Mass Municipal Association, would that be an avenue to do that? How would you go about that? And I'd like it to happen if everybody's in agreement. And I don't know if it requires a vote or not. But I'd like to see that happen because I feel like we're wasting a lot of time here. And I get it. It's a part-time position, but it's still a fairly decently paid position.
Sure. So I think part of the issue is that it's all-encompassing. It's not a specialty type of grant writer. It's not an arts and culture grant writer. It's not a public safety grant writer. It's a broad spectrum. They've got to cover everything. And that was a comment that I got from the person assisting us early on that, hey, that may be something difficult. It's what we need. And, it certainly came to fruition. So some of it is what we're asking for. It's not it's not typical, I guess, for the field, from what I understand and from the information that's been given to me. Often people are very specialized. So we're trying it again. I can certainly reach out to Gloucester. I don't know that they have somebody who has 20 hours to provide to us. We can certainly reach out to them. We collaborate with them, as you know, for the Veterans District. We're reaching out and partnering with them hopefully very soon on shared public health nurse services. We could certainly see if there's interest in joining for the grant writer as well.
Gloucester's grant writer is all-encompassing, correct?
I'm not sure what the role is for that.
Okay.
But that's a full-time position as well. It's not a consultant. It's a
Right, no,
paid
I get
employee.
that. But if we could take that and look at a town of our size that maybe has somebody that, maybe might be looking at jettisoning that position because maybe they can't fill it completely and they don't have enough, and we can supplement that. It's mutually beneficial. So how do we really explore that? And I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's get down that road. How do we do that?
So I guess that would be a question for the board at this point. Do you not want me to re-advertise, and do you want me to go to
No,
Gloucester, or do you want me? That's.
Yeah,
Do you want me to do both?
I would definitely like you to re-advertise.
Right.
And I
Okay,
guess
okay.
my question is, where do you post for these sorts of things?
So we put it on the Mass Municipal site. It goes in the newspapers, etc. I sent it to. There's a Grant Writers Association. The exact name escapes me. But we sent it to them as well. We just didn't.
I mean, is it worthwhile to post on more commonly?
We'll give it a try, and that's what I'm hoping that
Yeah,
the
Monster
person that I
and
spoke
Indeed or
with.
something.
Well, actually, it's part of the newspaper. It goes to Monster and
Oh, it
Indeed.
does,
That's
okay.
part of the payment for that. I'm hoping that there's some more specific areas that we can target to, some particular associations,
Yeah.
and that's why I've reached back out to
Yeah.
the person who helped us
I
get
mean,
started.
The concern I would have if sharing a grant writer is if we go to a town like Manchester, for example.
We're fighting for
We're
the
going
same
to
grants.
compete for the same money. And so how is this person going to decide for whom
point.
they're going to write
Right.
the grant?
Where the
Then
low-
maybe
yeah.
that's something that we look at somebody, in the mid part of the state. I don't know. I mean, other towns have done it. This is not, when Mitch and I went to the MMA conference in the, whenever it was.
January.
January, thank you. That was one of the symposium seminars that I went to, because I thought it was great to be able to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
So this is not a new concept.
No, no, no,
It's just,
no,
no,
not
I
at
know
all.
that, and I'm not
Yeah.
arguing with you, not at
Yeah,
all. I'm just saying that we need to find a way to do it. We can get it done. We just need to find the right avenue to do it. Because if we're not having any luck pulling people in, and it's going to be tough, then let's go out and let's be proactive about this. Get it. Posting the job and putting it out there, that's great. We have to do that. And I hope we get somebody. But if we don't, let's have another avenue going. I
I think
agree, don't
people
shut it down.
people especially at this level of a grant writer want to be full time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
So you gotta
a
find the
lot-
right person.
Yeah, you
Right.
got to
Yep.
Person and town.
Yeah, and we need to look at maybe creating it full time, or the other avenue would be, in my experience, is a retiree that would like
Absolutely.
to,
Absolutely.
And,
especially-
and this was a consultant.
I
this
think
is
we got a
consultant
few
role too.
retirees in this
Yeah.
community too.
So I had figured actually that as a consultant, it may get somebody
Yeah.
who was looking to shift into a lower gear, and I have to say I was a bit surprised
Yeah.
that we didn't even get. We usually get something for everything, and there's usually even the couple that you say, "Oh no, thanks."
Yep.
We didn't get anything.
But this was posted June 1st, correct?
It was posted prior to that. It was posted in
Prior
May.
to that.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're halfway through, almost more than halfway through July with nothing. And I just feel like we need to
Halfway
we need
through,
to
it's
do a
the
little
10th.
bit more. And it's Mitch, sure.
Did the month fly by? Today is the 10th.
No, June 1st it posted.
I know,
No.
but you said you were halfway through July. Today's July 10th.
We're
Well,
getting
just about, we're almost there. I'm off by a couple of days. My equilibrium is a little.
Wow.
Slow
But
down.
we're past it. But I just want to make sure we get something out there
Wow.
together, because this is an important position that can
We,
bring a lot of money
we're
to the town.
continuing
Oh,
to
absolutely.
do everything we can on it, and we'll certainly
Yeah.
continue to explore
Great.
other options for it.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks.
That means I have 12 more days to wait to go to Rangeley then. I'm not happy about that. All right. So that's it. So that's great. So we'll go with that. Anything else on other business, Ruthie? Anything else?
No, good
No?
question.
Denise?
I'm good. I'm
We're
good.
good? Everybody's good? Okay, that is going to conclude this meeting, and we will be, do I have to announce it?
There's a motion.
Okay, let's go through that if
Oh,
we
that's
can,
me.
please.
Okay.
Um,
I move that the Board of Selectmen enter into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A, 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, MCOP, Local 154 patrol officers, and Local 154A sergeants. Votes may be taken.
Motion's been made, and we're on a roll call vote?
Yes.
You have to second.
We have
Second.
Second, motion
Yep.
been made and seconded. Roll call vote, Selectman George, person George?
Excuse myself.
He recuses, Select Person Donley,
Aye.
Select Person Murphy,
Aye.
and I vote, Select Person Campbell, aye. We are entering into executive session because by not doing so, it would be detrimental to the town's bargaining position. The board will not reconvene in open session.
Thank you. And for the record, Select Person George has indicated she is abstaining from this session and recusing herself.
Select Person George, thank you, it's just so everybody knows, Select Person George will
You can take
abstain
my
from
place.
this, right? That's great.